away from your perch outside the studio. All right, have a seat.
This is such a
it's a high professional job here.
Really got this rocking here today.
In case you didn't know that. All right, everybody. Greg is here. Greg is one of the new owners from the Whale. And if you read our newsletter yesterday, you saw that the Whale was sold. Marty Harity from Doc Ford sold the Whale to Greg and his partners. Greg, welcome to the show. And make sure you got your microphone on.
Thank you very much Ed, for having me.
Tell us.
He's got like a radio voice.
I know.
Yeah, I hear that all the time, actually.
Yeah.
So definitely would like to be a guest a lot more frequently.
Tell us about the you and your partner and what you guys did and some history on yourselves.
Yeah, perfect. So we just took over on Wednesday, so it's still new for all of us. Everything going forward. So we got a lot of changes we want to make. My partner and I, we've known each other for several years now. I think we're going to be a great duo there because he understands the real estate and the construction part of it, and I'm the restaurant guy. I've been in the restaurant industry ever since I could pretty much work.
And who's your partner? Did you say
his name's Mike Miller?
Okay.
Mike Miller.
Mike, and you've worked at the Pink Shell and Fresh Catch?
Yeah, I was at the Pink Shell about 8 years ago. I worked a little bit at the Outrigger Resort as well, and I was at Fresh Catch for the previous 8 years.
Now, yesterday when we put out our newsletter, there was we did some research on the taxes and the property values and the new construction on the beach. It was a lot of work put into those. Nobody cares about that. Yeah. They really only cared about the Whale.
Absolutely, and the Whale is it's a legendary place on this beach. It's been a lot of people on this island hold it near and dear to their hearts. We want to put a big facelift on it and get it back to its former glory and just have it go back to being that place where you have great music, great food, great service, great atmosphere, and that's going to be our standard. It is greatness.
Now, do you have any what sort of plans then do you have to change things or keep things the same?
So we have a ton of plans. The question is how much of it we're going to be able to implement, but definitely we want to obviously rebuild that whole upper deck. And it needs it bad. We would like to make it kind of a solid structure up there to prevent the weather from ruining our days or nights. Downstairs we want to try to open it up as much as we can, get some more natural light in there. It's kind of like a little dungeon down there right now. So we would like to get like some more natural lighting in there, maybe extend that bar out onto that newer downstairs deck. We have some plans for that downstairs deck as well to kind of have it be, instead of some tables out there, maybe kind of put almost like stools along the railing with a so people can sit in there, have their drinks, have a little space for them to eat, and then also just kind of look out and people watch, which is
You're thinking about closing in the top?
We would like to. I mean, again, right now
you can still see out. But,
exactly.
Okay.
They still want to see it, not enclosing it entirely, just basically making it a solid structure and having it shaded all the time.
When you said return it to its old glory, we haven't been coming down that long. What do you mean by that?
So I would say probably 10 years ago, the Whale was known for, like I said, there was great food there. They had great music all the time. It was a great place to hang out, watch sports, all that kind of thing, all those kind of things. And we want to return it to that. Right now it's a little dilapidated, you could say. It's the outside of the building is. Sorry, the outside of the building is it needs a lot of work, and I think that kind of has altered people's viewpoints of it. It's because it hasn't been a lot put into it lately, and I think people just have kind of vetoed it from their spots to go. So
it's hard to find a better location on Fort Myers Beach than where you're
amazing.
Located and what's going on.
I don't know. You have parking.
We have parking. We actually have, I believe, the biggest parking lot north of Lani Kai for an individual establishment, I believe.
You have parking?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
We got right behind the building. We've got, I want to say probably about 20, 25 parking spots.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know if you've noticed it, but there's a little bit of a construction going on right close to you, too, which might help.
Yeah, we know a little bit about what's going on there. Yeah, that's kind of factored into our plans, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's right next door to the big resort that's going in. And I think that I might be wrong, but the resort is going to kind of have everybody up their game. They're going to put
couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
What do you think the time frame is for some of your changes that you want to implement?
We definitely want to do as much as we can as soon as we can, but that probably is closer to our timeline as far as when that's going to be finished.
Right.
We would like to be full systems go by then.
Now, the music, is there not music now?
They don't do any live music right now.
I see. So you're going to add music.
We are definitely going to bring music back. Whether that's going to be back to the full bands like we used to, or solo acts, duo acts, we'd like to implement a little bit of all of that. But I definitely would like to see music there every day.
Yeah.
Especially
You're gonna have
in the
one of
busier
those
times
little
of the year.
meters, so you stay
The
under
decibel
the
levels, yes, exactly. So
What
that's
is that? What are you
the little
talking
meters for the decibel
Yep.
to see how
Oh, I see.
loud. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're
they're
close
right
to
there,
a
yeah.
residential neighborhood.
exactly
Yeah.
the decibel levels is one thing we have to monitor closely. So,
So
that
they'll
will
be on that.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. That'll be one thing that we'll put a lot of emphasis on, of course.
Mhm.
So where do you think you'll have it inside or upstairs or wherever you can?
Probably a little of both.
Yeah.
I would like to do a little of both, maybe different times of the day. Like I said, it could be solo acts, could be duo acts.
Yeah.
And the full bands part might be tricky with
Sure.
the decibel level, so we'll have to kind of see how that plays out.
Maybe a podcast or two.
100%.
Yeah, something
100%.
like that.
We were there.
We were there. I
Yeah.
don't know if we did a kind of a Margaritaville update from the second story
Yeah.
there, and like you said, the wind was incredible,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
It
it
was
was
crazy
knocking
tight.
things down.
Yeah,
and,
so
it was just crazy that
Yeah.
day.
we
though.
lose that
I mean,
upstairs about 100 days out of the year between heat, rain, cold. Throughout
yeah.
the year,
I
we
see.
lose. So we really want to for that to be able to sustain itself
the
during any
view though.
The view is amazing, and it's and
Mhm.
after that construction you mentioned was going to be done, view will be even better. I
Yeah.
mean, it'll be really a really cool view from up there.
So
we're really excited
yesterday,
about
when
that.
people were ignoring the home prices and the all the work that we put in, and they were mostly paying attention to the whale story, they were talking about specific dishes like chicken and French fries and this and that and the other thing. So what's staying and what's going? And
we're still delving into that, of
dude,
course.
you're
but
sweating like crazy.
I know.
Are you
I just left
okay?
the gym right before I got here.
Oh,
so
where
it's
do you
still-
work out?
I just joined Hammerhead, but I've been going to
I
Bay
see.
Oaks for a long time.
Oh, Bay Oaks. Yeah,
The
they're
problem with Bay Oaks is they're closed a lot. So,
Yeah.
so,
Right.
holidays and weekends, it's
Right.
pretty much so.
right. It's a
So I joined
government.
Hammerhead. I'm like, I needed to get to work at it.
It's a government operation.
You
So
should try
something.
working out.
I know.
So, but as far as menu items go, I mean, we want to fresh and local are going to be our first and foremost. As far as seafood goes, that's what we want to implement the most of. There's so many phenomenal species of fish that are caught in our local waters that we want to feature and implement on our menu. So obviously availability can be tricky on those sometimes. So we
Mhm.
probably would make it, like it'll say like fresh local sandwich or whatever we may put on there.
There you
Sorry.
go. That's all right.
When you
so
work-
Pink gulf and the pink pink gulf
pink shrimp are going to be massive.
pink
Yeah,
gold.
we have some new recipes for some different shrimp things that we're going to do. So
When you went to the gym today, what'd you work on?
Oh, here
I
we
was
go.
chest and back.
Bench, flat bench, and
I did a little flat bench,
what are you
rows.
flat benching?
Here we go.
How much?
I don't max out a lot because
see.
I just
370.
yeah right yeah but 375.
What are you
actually,
like?
very close.
28,
I am 30. Oh god, I don't even know. 35.
35.
Wow.
So you're
Something like
probably
that.
did you? How many times you do 225 today?
I did not work out with 225 today. I was
I
working out
see.
with 195
I see.
today.
How many push-ups can you do in 1 minute?
Let me ask.
In 1 minute,
Yeah,
45.
1 minute. 45 in 1 minute.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Good, huh?
Yeah, I think you could do more than that. You're only 35.
So we get people on
I
here
guess
that
so.
go,
We'll have to get everybody out of the whale
Yeah.
and test that out.
there's your first opening act.
I don't mean to ask. Is this your girlfriend or your wife here?
That is my darling wife over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't mean to
Can
ask you
I
this in
ask-
front of her. Dear,
Well,
calm down a
wait,
second.
wait,
There's
wait,
plenty
wait,
of time. There's
wait. I have a good one. So you said about shrimp
Hmm?
on the thing. Now remind me, because it seems like in 2019 you were the people's choice for the shrimp eating contest. Yeah.
I was. Yes,
Wait, what?
absolutely.
See,
You
See?
won the shrimp eating contest.
So I
No,
didn't win the
he's-
contest. I
he
got
was-
third, but what I was is I'd raised the most money, not to toot my own horn, but by
There,
a long
Go
shot
ahead.
for the Lions Club.
Well, how much did you raise?
I think it was close to $1,000. If I
Nice.
remember right. Yeah.
How did you
And
do
I think
that? Like-
second place was about $40. So it was
Wow.
it was a pretty big difference.
People
there.
were being lazy.
I've been in this community for about 10 years, and
Nice.
I've luckily met a lot of phenomenal people. I think most people probably will recognize me when they see
Yeah.
me. So, I've been
Yeah.
a big part of the community, and that's one thing we want to do at the Whale is get really involved with the community again. We want to, all the taste of the beach, any kind of
Putt and
community
putt
events. We want
thing,
to.
all of
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
we want to be involved in all of that because the community is what Mike and I we both love the community here, and we love that we're going to be a part of that.
Now,
know,
how you feeling about the color scheme of the building right now?
Oh, it's going 100%.
All right. What color?
So I mean, it's the Whale, so we want to implement some nautical colors. So we're looking at probably some type of navy-ish type of color. There's a couple color schemes we're doing. We'll accentuate that with some whites or maybe some light grays, that type of thing. But we want it to be have an aquatic feel to it.
And you're keeping the name.
We are absolutely keeping the name for now. Like I said, the Whale has such a history. We want to keep that history. We
Mhm.
just want to make it great again.
How long have you been
back-
married?
I've been married. We'll
There
have our
we go.
5th anniversary in December.
Any kids? Yeah.
Wow.
I have 2 boys, but
I see.
yes,
Yeah.
from previous
We don't have
relationships,
to go into your
yeah,
history,
no, it's okay.
but I mean, unless you want to.
No, that's okay.
no.
Well,
So
Any plans for more?
not at the moment. We both. Yeah, I have a nephew
Yeah.
that we have full custody of as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
she's yelling in the background.
Yeah,
I didn't hear what she said, so she's taking
She's
full
making
control.
sure I'm, she's
in
making
line.
sure I'm, yeah.
Yeah. How old
Getting
are
it
your
accurate.
boys?
My older son will be 15 in October, and my younger one is 12.
Are they
yes.
working at the
Wow.
Whale right now?
He will be working at the Well,
cleaning? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. For
Absolutely.
no pay, right?
No pay, no,
No,
of course not.
So
Child labor.
when you did you do dumbbells too when you were at the gym?
I didn't do any
Okay.
dumbbells today. No,
Just flat bench?
I got there a little later than I wanted, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't late
Yeah.
here, so I cut
Did
it
you
a little
shower
short,
after?
but
There's no shower
I did
there.
shower after, but my body, it
I
takes about an
see,
hour
yeah.
to cool
I-
off.
I
and
hear
it's-
you, I
didn't
hear
give
you. Happens
myself
to me
enough
too.
time, so.
Yeah. So you didn't do dumbbells. You did flat bench, incline
Did
bench,
some rows,
and a
yep,
couple
I did-
machines.
I did some chest flies,
Yeah.
but on a
But-
machine. So
Do you have a membership there, or did you pay for the day?
So Hammerhead, I just joined the membership today. They
Yeah,
sent me
what
a
I
promo
like
code a
about
little while
them
ago,
is
so-
they're open 24 hours. So
Oh,
you
sure.
just
And
put a
it's
code in.
keyless
and-
entry.
yeah.
Yeah, Hammerhead is great.
except for if there's 15 people there, then you're waiting for machines. But
Does
anyway,
all their I'm sure all their stuff works, unlike
it does work.
some
And
other
it's got everything you
places.
need there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a huge place, but it's got
Yeah.
everything you need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
We've had
it's
them on
fun.
the show when they first bought it.
Yeah, that's
but,
right.
So the hours are going to change or going to
Yeah,
stay
we
the
are
same?
definitely going to.
Just so the neighbors know, you're going to be open 24
Absolutely.
hours a day.
Yeah, 24 hours. We can't serve any drinks from 2 to I believe it's 6 a.m. So unfortunately, legally, but we're gonna do
Just
tacos and hot
kidding.
dogs there.
Just
so,
kidding. Primo or whatever. What's road is that? Is that Primo right there?
Right behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
we're definitely going to implement some later nights. Might not be for a few months yet. Well, while we get some construction done, do some things like that. I got to make sure I have the staff for it. But we want the number one locals for another place to hang out and drink.
Yeah.
And also for our hospitality staff. We adore our hospitality staff here. A lot of them get off right around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I'd like for them to be able to come and get something where there's a fresh, hot cooked meal
Yeah.
for them. There's myself included, I've been down here a long time. A lot of times after about 9 o'clock, you got either 7-Eleven or Yo Taco are kind of your options.
Mhm.
So we want to make sure that we give someone else
I don't-
give people another.
have you
another-
ever bought anything from that window at the 7-Eleven where they just turn them around? I mean,
It's probably been some years since I have.
I
yes.
I can honestly say nothing in those
The
windows
pizza
Yeah, that's-
or
ever
the
looks.
little
You can never be
taquitos.
drunk
Yeah,
enough.
you got to
to-
kind of have the rest of your day.
But you know
freed
what
up
it
if
is?
you're gonna
The
eat that
folks-
kind of stuff.
at our 7-Eleven anyway, the folks that are on the landscaping trucks, they love that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
they and that there. I'm not saying anything about any kind of people
I'm just
except
stretching
they're
my
it's
arms.
they all come in from the landscaping trucks and they take all the food. Like
Yep.
it could be a hot dog, it could be a piece of pizza, it could be those burritos,
Sure.
and how do they not have the runs right away?
I would be surprised if they didn't, but
I'm just
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just saying that I'm telling you that's the truth. It's all they work their
you're
asses
absolutely
off.
right. You're absolutely
Thank you. But somehow that's offensive to you.
Now somehow it's going to be offensive to
I
somebody.
see. Well,
I would think
that-
it's just quick and convenient,
Yeah.
more so than anything.
Yeah.
And it's obviously pretty inexpensive, so I think it's just
Who'd you just wave to?
Bonnie.
Oh,
She's known
next
me a
door.
long
Yeah.
time,
So
So-
how do you go? What were you doing before you guys bought the Whale?
I was bartending. So I've been in the restaurant industry, like I said earlier, pretty much since I was a teenager, and I've held pretty much every position that you could have in a
Yeah.
restaurant industry. But I've been on the bar side for a while now, and my partner partnered up with me because we met years ago he was a regular of mine, and then we started spending a lot of time outside of work together, and he knows. We've had many conversations, and he knows I have a very intricate knowledge of the restaurant industry forward and back. And
Did you go to
So
restaurant?
wait, I wanted to ask, being that you're a bartender, are you going to create a signature drink? Like,
oh yeah,
are you
definitely,
going to?
definitely. I mean, it's all
Got
this
any
is going to be.
ideas?
Oh yeah, tons.
So
but
Chris wants to know if happy hour is coming back. Like, there's
Absolutely.
no happy hour.
we have no happy hour right now. No happy. And the funny
I don't
thing
think
is,
I've ever heard that
you go on our
before.
website right now, and it's happy hour and live music every day. But we don't have either of those.
You
So
might need a new website.
yeah, absolutely. all in the works. Like I said, we took over Wednesday, so a lot of this is
Yeah,
still
come
pretty,
on, man.
pretty
Why?
quick.
What's
Yeah, I
taking
really
you
should
so
have had
long? For
everything done
crying
by
out
now, I
loud!
know.
Fix the dang website.
But
Wait,
definitely
my
happy
God,
hour.
Wednesday.
Come
It
on.
is
Happy hour
Saturday.
absolutely coming back. We'll have a lot of appetizer specials on there. The drinks will be great value. All that. Again, it's a little tentative exactly what our hours are going to be, but it's probably going to be somewhat similar to what we used to have. I believe it was used to be 2 to 5, so we'll probably do something like that, 2 to 5, 3 to 6, something.
Can you add a hazy beer on the menu?
A hazy beer?
Yeah, yeah.
On draft or-
yeah, draft?
You
would
want
be
it on
great.
draft?
Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't like
And that
make
is
it a
what is your
personal
request? That you would like me to add for next?
I don't drink beer.
I don't know. I've heard
You
that
look
it's
like
good.
you got sunburned today. Your face
No
is all red.
way.
You out running in the sun
I
today?
I
Crazy.
forgot. Oh, no.
So, how'd
I'm
you meet your
sweating.
wife?
Funnily enough, I met my wife through Fresh Catch as well.
I
She
see.
came in as a guest with her ex-boyfriend, of course. Now
Oh,
she left with me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
She actually ended up working with me. We actually were a bartending duo for a long time there, but it was about 2 years when we worked together before we actually formed
Now,
a
was she
relationship.
officially broken up with him when you guys got together, or was there some
I'll plead the fifth
crossover?
on that one. So no, I'm
I
just kidding.
see. Yeah. What'd she say? What's she
It's
yelling
a
over?
family program.
No, it was far from a family program.
But it was great. But we developed such a great following through Fresh Catch that people they loved to see our story. They knew us both before we were together.
Look at these people. You make a great old fashioned. What's an old fashioned?
An old fashioned it's a bourbon drink.
Yeah.
Usually it's kind of. It's changed a lot over the years, but typically most people make it now. They'll muddle an orange with some bitters and a cube of sugar, and then they'll throw some ice on it and some bourbon. It's a delicious
What
drink.
about a cherry? Isn't there a cherry
Yeah,
in that?
so
Whoa.
true old-fashioned aficionados will want a Luxardo cherry in there.
Did you hear what she said?
No, I can't
She
hear it
said,
that
"Good
far away
question."
with my cans on. So you made me lose track, dear. How dare you? So have you ever played pickleball?
I've never played it like officially against other people. My little son loves to enjoy. He loves pickleball. So
Your 12-year-old
my
son.
12-year-old loves pickleball. So we will play. We play sometimes over at Bay Oaks. Once everyone else is done,
But they do
we'll
have
play
courts
around.
over there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it mostly an older, like an 80 and over
Yes.
game or something like that? So have you heard of this? Is your son watching, by the way?
Yeah.
He is
I don't
not.
think you
I don't
should
believe.
segue
All right.
to this.
Because there's this craze going around this naked. Did you see the
I
naked
did see
pickle?
that. Yes,
It's
I did.
second to you. Like the whale was first on our
Yep.
site, and the naked pickleball thing was second. It's like these people.
I mean, that's pretty
Listen,
entertaining stuff.
I didn't want to say this when Melissa was here, but if I'm in a naked pickleball game, I'm trying to hit somebody in the wanker. I mean, I'm really aiming down. I mean, how can you not? Like, you want to hurt somebody
For sure.
I mean, you
I mean,
shouldn't be.
You don't
I
have
wasn't
to
good enough
aim
at
down
pickleball to
because you
aim
just took
anywhere
this
really
show right to the ground. You just buried us.
Well, what you don't
Yourself.
want to say on the court when you're playing is,
His
boy, this.
remarks do not reflect anything that I think.
What you don't want to say during a pickleball game, a naked pickleball game, is you don't want to look
Oh, here
across
we
the
go.
court and say, boy, this game is hard.
Yeah, I would be way too distracted to even be able to concentrate. I mean, yeah, that's.
Especially when
Ba-dum-bum.
they're 80 or 85,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
you're running to get the ball and your stuff's still over there.
I think I'd last for 1 or 2 serves before I quit. I think I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so
Well, this was a new low. Thank you for
You're
joining
actually-
us.
I'm glad I could be here for
I'm
that. Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely.
your wife came up to me before the show and said, "Be sure to bring up the naked pickleball." I don't know why
She
she said
seems
that.
interested. I mean, I don't know. She just wants more opportunity to see me naked. I think.
So, oh,
See,
oh, she just
how long
made
have
a
you been
funny
married?
face.
We've been married for 4.5 years.
Oh, yes. See, you still have that chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
there.
So wait a
Absolutely.
second. So our roving reporter who takes the summers off and goes, where does he go? To St. Louis.
Mhm.
Did it used to be called the beach whale?
It did. It
Yeah.
did. I'm honestly not 100% sure why they dropped the beach part of it off. But I believe that happened 3-4 years ago.
Do you put it back on or you leave it off?
I think we're going to leave it off for now.
Yeah.
Definitely possible. I mean, it was known as beach whale, obviously,
Yeah.
for 20 years. So potentially. But I think right now everyone kind of knows it as the whale. So we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
how that goes.
So are you invested in the business too, or
Yes,
so
yes,
you're the GM and a part
I'm,
owner?
The managing partner is my technical.
Okay.
Yes.
So Mike and Dawn
Yes.
are also going to be working there, or they're pretty much.
They are they're more of the build. Mike loves construction. He loves
I
real
see.
estate. So he wants to go in there and absolutely
that
do as
part
much as
of it.
possibly
Mhm.
can. Yeah, that's his aspect. He doesn't understand as much about the restaurant, but that's why he partnered
Cool.
with me.
Now,
So-
I wonder if the permitting thing gets in your way with all the changes to the
Sure.
hurricane stuff. If
Yep.
you make changes, so you're trying to wiggle around that. I'm
Well,
sure.
I mean, we're gonna do everything by the book, of course.
Yeah,
but,
you made it sound salacious. We're gonna.
But
I
it
mean,
definitely,
around
I'm
that.
sure there's things that we want to do that probably will run into some issues with, but
Yeah.
hopefully the town will work with us as much as we want to work with them
Yeah.
because they
don't
again,
count on them. No, I'm kidding. They're a wonderful
hopefully,
town.
but
Yeah.
we'll see. But the building right now, just from the outside, it just looks run down. So
Yeah.
we want to change that.
What
and
is that
so
little
hopefully the
thing
town
that
will
Bill
let us.
Veach did out on the sand there with the
Yeah,
plants?
so I'm still learning about that. Obviously, I guess we're not allowed to build out there anyway, is from what I understand. So they wanted to plant some native plants out there, but right now nobody really takes care of it or does anything with it. So it's kind of
they're not watered or anything. Aren't there rocks out there or there's
yeah, I mean, with them
Was
being
it like
native
zero
plants,
scab? Zero.
I don't know
zero
what it is. I
scape?
just
with
know
them being all native, I mean, I would imagine they could survive the climate without much else.
how nice would it to
going
be
on,
able to
but
have tables right there?
I would love that. We
I don't
actually
think-
looked into doing some lounge chairs out there, some place where people just walk up and get some service. But it seems like we're not going to be able to do that. But if we're absolutely going to look into all those types of things.
Let me ask
Are you keeping the same footprint? You're not expanding like.
We would love to do any kind of expansions and things like that. Again, it's going to come down to what we're allowed to do. That's really more of the question.
That's a perfect example of what's the downside to that. To having like little tables out there so people can, really. I'm sure the town would charge you for it, like they charge these guys out here. I mean, it's so in the perfect area to people watch.
I mean, I agree. I mean, on our end, there is no downside to it. So it just
put a little fence around it, so. Anyway, so what do we miss about the Whale? Anything you want people to know? When are you going to be there? When are you going to make whatever that drink was? I can't remember what it was.
The old fashioned.
Old fashioned.
I will have to. I could probably do a good old fashioned still there. Yeah, absolutely. But I just want people to know that Mike and I are very familiar with the history of the Whale, and we want to keep it. We want to keep that vibe that it's always had in the sense of great food, great music, great service, great view, as you mentioned before. We just want to keep. Greatness is going to be our standard. We're not going to accept mediocrity. We're not going to accept even good. We want it. Greatness is going to be the level that we strive for across the board. So I want everyone to know that, and I want everyone to do.
Unlike this show for him, right? Mediocrity.
That seems to be acceptable here. No, I'm just kidding. Teasing.
The employees. You keep all the employees.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone seems to be very excited so far. Cool. I mean, they've. Not to, and I don't mean this in any kind of negative way, but they've somewhat felt neglected a little bit, as far as the building goes and things like that. They've just kind of been on their own, which is understandable, but they're not anymore. We are absolutely going to do everything that we can for them, and I want them to make money. That was the very first thing I told them, that I've been in the trenches for the last 20 years, so I understand exactly what it is, and I want to make sure they're happy and they have everything that they need and that they're making money, because I mean, you have a happy staff. They'll not only take care of your business, but they'll take care of their customers, and that's where you start.
I will say, as I said earlier, that I was there. I have been there very few times, but I was there the other day with a friend, and we sat inside. It is dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But it was cool.
The AC is great there, and we're gonna make sure, even if we open it up, we're gonna make sure that the inside has great AC there, because with this time of year, that's just invaluable.
And I will say.
Yeah.
The girl that waited the
Cool Air Pros.
The wait staff person she was excellent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
she was so sweet, and we weren't having a big bill, so we tried to tip her well, but she's like, I'm not bothering you, sit as long as you want, and really made us feel comfortable. Yep. So I wish I knew her name so I could give her a shout out, but
I'm reading the comments. I do this all the time.
Sure.
Like Mitch, who's a regular in town, everybody knows Mitch. He said that he thinks the name was changed because when a fish or a mammal is beached, it's not a good thing. So I don't know if that's. Oh, here's Lee. Lee says, and Lee Melsick knows everything about everything because he's been around a long time. A retired cop owned it when Marty bought it. I believe it was the former owner changed the name from the Mermaid Club to Beached Whale. Islanders be fan before calling it Whale. I don't know if that clarifies anything. It confuses me.
I know it was the original Mermaid a long time ago. Yeah, but again, why they dropped the beached off? I'm not 100% sure.
And then Kathy, who's a member of the Garden Club, straightened us out. Kathy Turner said it's a demonstration garden, and the Garden Club takes care of it, and it's mostly town property.
Okay,
so there we learned something on this show.
Perfect. Now I know.
These people out there are fascinating. Yeah. All right. So thank you. So what I was going to say is it's in a perfect spot to be like a community place where the locals come,
and that's what we want.
Yeah,
100%. Because you know what, we want the locals to be happy with that spot, because the locals will promote us too.
Right.
Anytime they have friends coming in town or they meet people, they'll say, hey, you got to check out the Whale, because the place is awesome. We go there all the time and it's great. So it only helps everyone.
Explain your last name.
So my last name is very, 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 very old. I actually have my nephew, who we have legal custody of. His legal name is Edward Ludwig von Krumrig the 21st.
Wow.
So it's about 800 years, and it's technically Prussian. So my ancient ancestor was he was a pagan chieftain in the old. Yeah, well, exactly. Before the Teutonic Knights
Wow.
came and everything. And supposedly the way that one of my other ancestors who wrote a few novels described it was that he essentially, the Teutonic Knights, when they did come to the area, which is now Germany, but when they did come to the area, he became so well respected by them that they made him a lord, and they formed what became known as Prussia at the time. And it's pretty cool stuff. But,
Wow.
But
Yeah, that's
we
great.
would need a much longer segment to probably get into more
So
detail.
how
on
do
that.
you say it? How do you say it?
Just von Krumrig.
Is it Vaughn? Like, it's not a middle name. That's part of your last
Yeah,
Yeah,
name.
so it means house of in German. So and then Krumrig is it's kind of changed a little bit throughout the years. It used to be Kronreich was the most recent. So obviously very very German there, which translates to Crown Rich. So House of Crown Rich. So somebody had a lot of fun in our family history, because I don't know where the
Do you
casts
realize
are.
that?
Where's the
realize-
crown?
Yeah, exactly, right.
Do you realize in 20 years that you're not going to remember anything what you just said, because your memory, if it's like mine, it's all going to go away. All that stuff.
Well,
I have
I'll
no idea
I
what
will
you
take
Prussia and
take that advice. I'll go write everything down. Make sure I
Yes.
can at least
Yes.
look back on my memoirs.
you should record it into a little box or
Oh,
something.
well, you
like
have
that.
this great thing.
You can always play this back when your kids are 35
Yeah,
years old.
absolutely. But it's a cool family history.
Yeah.
So,
Do you start when you're bartending? You start laying that on people like?
oh,
they have
absolutely.
a
It's the
few-
first thing I say.
Nice.
Very first thing. As soon as they sit down, I get into it. And
You're funny.
20
too.
minutes later,
You're-
they get a drink. So
Why do you got to play me like that, bro? With a straight face. Oh, Greg, thanks so much for coming in,
Yeah,
and
thanks
thank
for
you
having me.
guys for reaching out, and good
Yeah, of
luck
course.
over there. And we
I'd love
hope to come
love
over.
to have you over there.
Yeah,
as
it'd
well,
be great fun. All right, everybody, go visit the Whale and see our new friends, Greg von Krumlich.
Close. Better than most.
All right, have a great one, and good luck
Thank
over
you
there.
very much.
All
I
right,
appreciate
thank you. All right, Greg, everybody, big hand from our live studio audience and his lovely wife of that he met
What's your wife's
when
name again?
Alexandra.
Alexandra von Krumlich.
Yes.
Yes, same last
very
name.
dignified.
All right, you guys,
Very
thanks for coming
dignified.
out. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, dear. Well, that was one hell of a long show, and we had a giant audience, and they're sticking with us right
oh,
here.
look,
so
they're kissing. We
isn't
don't
that
do that
nice?
anymore.